Welcome, I'm Antonina Antosha, and you are watching Head to Head on uatv. At the moment of a big social transformation, the one that Ukrainian society is going through now, Ukrainians demonstrate their striving for deeper knowledge in social science, economics, and humanities. An initiative called Free Academy of Changes provides an opportunity for Ukrainians, scientists, and opinion leaders to meet each other for open lectures and communication. How is it organized, and what topics and speakers are the true stars of public talks? To discuss this, we're joined in the studio today by Misha Feldman, Free Academy of Changes initiative founder. Well, hello, Misha, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Let's enlighten our audience. What is Free Academy of Changes?
Thank you very much for the invitation. Okay, our project, how we call it, it's an educational program designing as a combination of offline events in the format of public talks, and developed online web platform where all our events actually are spreading out to the public. We organized our project 17 months ago in September, and we started our activity in September 2016. And the initial idea was to manage together, from the one side, intelligent people from Kyiv region, because we actually started it from Kyiv. And we basically work in Kyiv now, but we have some plans to spread out our activity to
So your
regions.
lectures are mainly organized in Kyiv and the nearby region. You do not go to rural areas?
No, no. For now on, we are restricted by...
But are you planning to go to rural areas?
Definitely, we are planning to do it, but that's the next step. Back to your question regarding about our audience. We, especially after revolution situation happened in Ukraine in 2014, we realized in a private conversation with our few speakers that the Ukrainian society has some problems relating to the critical thinking level.
I'm sorry, what kind of problems are you talking about? Could you dwell a little bit more?
The critical thinking level of the Ukrainian society for now is pretty low.
So basically, your open lectures are the way to make Ukrainians more knowledgeable in the field of critical thinking?
Exactly. It's the one thing. That's the one thing. Another thing is then that our audience, which consists of absolutely different social groups, demographics, and professions, they get a chance, the unique chance to see intellectual, prominent speakers, and who, for those people, have the outstanding level.
Okay, who are usually your speakers? Who is that intelligentsia that could interest mass audience into getting knowledgeable and educating oneself?
Our speakers actually represent different areas of...
Well, for example, give us a couple of names.
For example, Alexander Paschaver, the former president advisor, and actually advisor to 3 presidents of the Ukraine.
And he lectures on what topics?
Just a few days ago, we had an event with the participation of Alexander Paschaver and another prominent speaker, Yaroslav Gritsak, and another famous economist, Vladimir Dubrovsky, the subject of our event was the Ukrainian reforms, if it's successful or it's fake. And we were discussing about that for 2 hours.
The government is telling people that the reforms are real and they are being implemented and we are on a successful path. But then again, well-renowned people who used to be advisors to the government of Ukraine tell people that they are fraud, the reforms are fraud.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
I said that we were discussing it and we raised that question.
So basically the audience is supposed to answer the question.
Everybody has a chance to answer that question, either audience or speakers, and actually, or the host.
So there is a host. Okay.
Yes. So, and finally, we get a conclusion, and finally, we get an answer on that question.
Okay, after the lecture is over, or draws to a close, does your audience get a certificate or something or any kind of document, or they just leave with the knowledge obtained?
Not at all. It's absolutely not educational program. It's, I would say, it's an intellectual show with some components of knowledge and critical thinking.
How do you push the audience to actually try to run the mechanism of critical thinking? Because I always thought that it's either a person is prone to critical thinking or not. How do you push a person?
First of all, we raise the question, which is always controversial. We never have questions raised which are, as we say, straightforward. So usually we have initial questions which are controversial and painful to the social activities.
Reforms. What else? What else do you usually talk about?
We talk about political elite. For example, a few months ago we had an event with the participation of very famous journalist Vitaly Portnikov and historian Natalia Yakovenko. And usually, as we see, we put absolutely different in terms of occupation speakers, either journalists or economists or historians together. And we never put one speaker as an event speaker. We
so usually have
absolutely,
2 or 3?
yes, we usually put a few ones.
How expensive is it to attend your lectures?
You mean the price, the tickets price? Yeah, usually we charge from 250 to 300 hryvnias per event, and it's absolutely demanding, and we usually have sold out.
And how big is usually the audience?
Up to 100 people.
Up to 100 people.
Yes.
Okay. And where does the money go?
Afterwards?
Yeah, the money you get from the ticket sales. Where does it go?
It's absolutely, as I answer on the question your colleague, it's an absolutely commercial project, and we use all of this money for few events.
For
organization and for video platform development.
You've been working for 17 months. What would you say are the fields of priorities right now for Ukrainian society to get more knowledgeable on, apart from reforms in politics?
Psychology is very demanding subject, and people are very scared about their psychological situation. And for instance, a couple months ago, again, we had an event called about the phenomenon of singlism.
What does it mean?
Singlism is the situation when people reject to create the family, and they continue to live single, raising kids. Whatever.
How do you if you don't want to have a family, the kid is a family, or at least you have to try to create one before you actually have a child.
But people reject to create the family. Doesn't matter if they have a kid or they don't have a kid. And this phenomenon is the trending phenomenon. It's a trend, and it's a positive trend.
So did you discuss the negative side of the phenomenon? I hope so.
We invited very famous psychologists and famous journalists who wrote some articles about that, and we were discussing with our audience if it's okay or not.
What did the audience say, I wonder?
What do you mean?
What did the audience say? Whose side were they on the side of those who practice the phenomenon of singlism, or the people who value more traditional
Usually we have absolutely two parts.
So 50-50?
50-50, yes. Usually we have this proportion. Doesn't matter which kind of question we raise. Usually we have this proportion.
What is the age limit for people to attend your lectures?
Usually our participants are from 30 to 55 years. Men and women, higher educated people, and with the average plus income.
I'm sorry, but I find it hard to believe that a 55-year-old average Ukrainian woman with an average plus income finds the phenomenon of singlism okay.
I didn't say that they were okay for that.
Okay.
And actually, I remember one person raised the hand and spoke about this. And actually, he was against that. And he proclaimed that young people should create families and whatever. But at the same time, we had a part of the audience which were pro-singlism, especially among young people.
Well, young people, yeah, they actually, the child-free movement, right, the singlism phenomenon, anything. Well, coming back to the question of you spreading the influence of your work outside of Kyiv region, how and when do you think it's going to happen?
It's a hard question because we don't have enough resources for now on to spread out this activity. But if we're gonna do it, and actually we plan to do it, we're gonna cover main Ukrainian cities. There are, as we say, regional centers like Odessa, Lviv, Dnieper, Kharkiv.
Okay.
When we're gonna do it, probably during the summer or next fall.
Do people outside Ukraine actually know about your project? I mean, have you noticed if people outside of Kyiv have actually come to listen to your open lectures?
Yes, sometimes. Yes, sometimes we got people from regions near Kyiv, like Zhytomyr, for example.
And how did they learn about the project? Online?
You mean people? Yeah, basically, mainly our advertisement is online. Usually, we promote our events on Facebook. And now, actually, we have some media partners. For example, LBUA and the Espresso TV channel.
Okay.
So, and hopefully, our activity will be increasing.
Okay. Me, as an average Ukrainian citizen, what do I do to become a part of the audience for your open lectures?
Just follow us on Facebook.
Okay.
And
where do you get the tickets?
Electronically.
Electronically.
We have all possibilities for you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming here and sharing this information with us in the audience.
Thank you for the invitation.
That was Misha Feldman. He's the founder of Free Academy of Changes. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned with UATV.